Massachusetts and Maine. Never really thought the Northeast was for me until I got here. Hey y'all, welcome to Ginger Walkabout. So I know I said I wasn't going to do travel videos, but some people said they kind of wanted to see a little bit of my adventures. So here's just a brief rundown of the past couple of weeks on the Walkabout. So I left Boston and headed to Salem. Yes, I went to the Witch Museum. No, I was not impressed. But that's fine. You know, everything can't be as exciting as the internet says it is. I did enjoy this Willows Park quite a bit. So this is why I would do this. We can sit in the parking lot and do our work and then hike up the hill for this. Salem, Massachusetts. Come for the witches, stay for the sunset. It was a lovely afternoon spent there. Then I went just north to Beverly, which is where I stealth camped at the hospital parking lot. And Color Me Dubious, excellent name, on the YouTube commented that they just couldn't imagine trying to spend the night in a hospital parking lot because of all the noise. And I was sort of surprised by that. I don't know what hospital y'all are staying in. I know as an EMT, I would never have kept my siren on all the way up to the front door of the ED. That would have been, I would have been in all kinds of trouble. Even if, you know, my patient was dying, and I was going priority one, that wouldn't happen. And I certainly did not hear any sirens, in the Beverly Hospital parking lot. Of course, you know, it's not like that's a level 1 trauma center, but, yeah, no, I was just fine. So the next day I continued my, tour of America's castles. I went to Hammond Castle. Now, it's worth a stop. There's sort of two kinds of American castles. There's just the stunningly beautiful, like in Newport, Rhode Island, like just stupid, crazy, gorgeous. And then there's the batshit crazy. I think Hammond probably falls into the category of the batshit crazy. But still worth a look. See, make sure you avoid all those brides doing their walkthroughs. It's apparently a big wedding spot. The back garden overlooking the ocean was closed, which was a little disappointing, but still worth the stop. Again, I do love a good castle. Yeah, so I just basically continued around this great scenic highway that is 127 in Massachusetts, went to Manchester by the Sea, went to Gloucester. Am I saying that right? I don't know. I'm Southern. We don't know how to pronounce things up here. But anyway, Gloucester, just stunning, beautiful, lovely, fabulous. So yeah, when you full-time RV and you work from the road, this is what you do. You find a park, you do a little work, and then you go walk around and see what's in that park. And in my case, it is gloriousness. It's 75 degrees, sunny. And this daggum New England is as beautiful as you think it is. And then just kept on that 127 over hill and dale. I think that's where that phrase comes from, because it was just up and down and curvy roads, little small towns, and then stopped at the Halibut Point State Park. It's a tiny little park, but it's right out there on the edge. And you walk through a little rock quarry forest, and then you get to this beautiful scenic overlooking the Atlantic. It was just lovely. So this is another break that I took today. I'm at Halibut Point State Park. on the very tippy end of the side of Massachusetts. Not on the Hook part, on the northern side part near Rockport. It is beautiful. It is stunning. Like, I just can't even. Like, seriously. This ocean all the way around. I kept heading north. Spent a couple nights at a Harvest House in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Got to check that out a little bit. The weather wasn't the greatest, but that's kind of life on the road. Then I was on to Maine. I took the scenic route through York, which was incredibly charming. There were all these that were like cool, old school, and obviously like van life, self-build camper vans with surfboards all over them. I think the hurricane had made the conditions ideal for the surfers there in York. I would assume that's why there were so many. Maybe there's always that many. I don't know. I made assumptions. And then I stopped at the Nubble Lighthouse. Now, this is, they say this is the most photographed lighthouse anywhere in Maine. And I get it. It's beautiful. It's stunning. But here's the thing, y'all. You drive up there and there's like 30 parking spots for like the 200 people that want to park up there. It's a tourist shit show. Just know that going in. I had to circle a few times. Now, no problem parking the van up there. That was not an issue. But yeah, it is a zoo. And I had to climb way down on those rocks, to get a picture with no humans in it. I mean, it was nice, but in hindsight, I probably should have parked at the bottom of the hill and just walked up. That would have been easier. From there, just headed through all the, precious AF scenic little towns on the, drive up the coast of Gonquet and Kennebunkport. Didn't see any Kennedys, but I'm not really sure I would know what the still living Kennedys look like, even if they were wandering around Kennebunkport. But, that's fine. Hung around Portland, Maine for a bit. Checked into a campground, wanted to, regroup and dump tanks. And then I headed back up, still, headed to Acadia. And I went to the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse out near Bristol. Now, it takes you a bit to get out on the peninsula there, but it was lovely. Much less crowded than Nubble. Very beautiful. Easy to park. Everybody's super friendly. So I spent an afternoon there. Even enough internet that I could sit and work at a picnic table overlooking the ocean. So no complaints about that. So then I made it to Acadia. Y'all don't need me to tell you to go to Acadia National Park. I mean, it's spectacular. Just go. In case anyone was wondering, this is why I live in a van. This right here. To get to see this. This is why I do it. Go into Bar Harbor first, go to that visitor center, get all your maps and your plans together, your schedules. There is a free shuttle that will take you different routes all over the island. And it's also dog friendly. So there you go. So get your schedule for that. There are hikes from everything from like a stroll along a super easy path along the ocean, to some really strenuous stuff that I couldn't do, with the dog, because Acadia is super dog friendly. Didn't even know this. Most national parks, you cannot take your dogs on the trails, but here in Acadia, they're like, bring the dog. So Whiskey went everywhere with me. He climbed all the peaks. We hiked probably about 20 miles in 5 days. We did Cadillac, and we did the bubbles. But I think my favorite was, Champlain. It was a lot less crowded than Cadillac, and it's the peak that's the closest to the ocean. And, I really liked the views from there. So yeah, we hiked and hiked and hiked. For 4 days, we stayed at the Blackwoods campground, which was lovely. All right, y'all. So what you're looking at right now is my very first campfire on the Walkabout. I'm not gonna lie. pretty proud of myself for my campfire building expertise. And now I'm in the Holiday Inn in Bar Harbor. Here, I'll show you. This is the view from my room. I mean, it's a Holiday Inn. It's not the greatest thing ever, but I mean, this is what I look at, so I can't really complain about that. Yeah, because I'm on that 5 a.m. shift again. So anyway, I'm going to take off out of here, and then I'm going to be heading north and west, back around. Through, I'm going to go through New Hampshire and Vermont and into upstate New York. So that's the current direction. I do want a couple of viewer questions. Wanda O'Hara asked about traveling in the Northeast. So far, I have had no issues. I have used Harvest Hosts, Walmart's, couple of campgrounds with no issues. I have not come across any bridges that I had a problem with. So now, if you had a big rig, this could be challenging, especially on those back roads, because they're narrow and there's not much shoulder, not a lot of room for error. But I haven't had a problem, and I haven't had a problem parking anywhere. Now, I'll park it anywhere. I parked it at the very, very small, tiny supermarket parking lot in downtown Bar Harbor. But that's just me. I'll try it, and so far, it's been fine. But yeah, no, I would definitely say if you're in a van or anything like that, come to the Northeast. Beautiful. Well, it's September. Everything is beautiful in September. Like Northeast United States, Italy, Prague was lovely in September. It's September. It's just always the right time to do travel. So anyway, I got a couple other logistics questions first from some folks about mail and traveling with dogs, and I'll cover that in another upcoming video. Just wanted to check in with y'all, give you the update, give you a little bit of a travel video, and I will see you on the road.